Today I'm going to show you why that advice, practice, 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 is nonsense, and what you actually need to do to finally make progress with your guitar playing. I'm Ian O'Brien from The Guitar Process, and I'm here to share with you what I've learned through mentoring over 900 adults between 50 and 80 years old to confidently play and sing their favorite songs on the guitar. If you're picking up the guitar and you're experiencing frustration, you're not enjoying it, and you're not moving forward, the answer is not simply practice, practice, practice. And as somebody learning, it makes sense that you might come to this conclusion, because in terms of like the stages of competency, when we're new to something or we haven't made that much progress with something, we come under the category of unconscious incompetence. And what that basically means is we don't know what we don't know. So our answers of what we need can be this kind of nebulous thing like, oh, I just need to practice more. And it's not really helpful. So if you're being told this by anybody who's supposed to know how to help you to learn to play the guitar, supposed to be able to teach you, they're telling you practice, 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 it's actually, in my opinion, it's a huge red flag, because it's showing that they're also in this stage of unconscious incompetence, because it's showing that they don't know what the main problem is with your guitar playing on one hand, and on the other hand, how to actually help you with it. There's a lack of an ability to accurately diagnose the problem and then teach you the stages to overcome the problem. Now let's look at a couple of different approaches to practice, because I see this with different people. You might be picking up a song, maybe you're going to a lesson, and 1 week the guitar teacher will say, oh, what do you want to learn? Or they'll suggest a song and they'll show you a bit of the song and demonstrate it to you. And then you go home and you spend a bit of time, you're by yourself, and you try to learn that bit of the song and put it together. And you go the next time and jump into something completely different. Oh, let's have a go at this song and this bit of it. And so you're learning bits and bits and pieces. Your kind of focus is extremely scattered in different areas of guitar playing. Oh, let's try a bit of this for fun. Let's try some of these chords, do some of these rhythms, that kind of stuff. That can definitely happen. But the other side of the coin, the people that I work with on their guitar playing, they're adults, they're over 50 years old. So they've had entire careers. They've often been very accomplished at multiple things. Maybe it's like sporting stuff or exercise stuff, or like they're engineers, or they're in management, or like they're consultants, or all these kinds of things, very, very accomplished, very, very confident in their own sphere. And then when it comes to guitar, some of this stuff is applied. So the practice looks on the surface really methodical and it looks structured. So it might be like, okay, 5 minutes I'm going to spend warming up. 5 minutes I'm going to do a scale. 5 minutes I'm going to do a couple of chords and get them clean. 5 minutes I'm going to do the changes. A few minutes I'm going to have a go at strumming. And then I'm going to spend 10 minutes learning a song or something like that. And you might think, yeah, there's a practice plan. There's a methodical approach. But actually the same problem is happening. This broad sweeping, this idea that we're like filling up multiple buckets at the same time, and at some point they're just all going to come together and we're going to be playing music and everything's going to feel really good and achieve it. But the problem with this is energy. Let me draw this out for you, because one circle, okay, here's another circle. What I'll do from here is I'll draw arrows representing the energy we can put into something. So we might put in a little bit of energy here, like warming up, bit of energy on a scale, fretting a chord and getting it clean, learning some new chords, going through like a book of chords. And then we might spend a little bit trying to get the rhythm, trying to hold a pick or something so it doesn't move around. Scales, technique, I'll hammer on, maybe a bit of fingerstyle. Maybe I'll have a go doing a bar chord, and I'm going to work on all these things, and gradually I'm going to be quite broad because I'm being thorough. But what happens is we end up putting all of this energy into all these different directions. Let's have an E for energy, and we don't get anywhere. We carry on like this, and we arrive at not playing a song. not making music. The other way, which is obviously the way I recommend, is if we view this slightly differently, we put the same amount of energy in, but we put it into one specific area. We channel it, and we actually make progress. So this is the same energy here, or less, in one focused direction. It's like, a magnifying glass in the sun. It's powerful. So we channel it in one area. So we don't want to be doing the scattering around, jumping from one thing to the other, kind of butterfly thing. And you'll find often we actually move on at the point that something becomes challenging. So the important thing here is, out of all the things that you could be doing with your guitar practice and with your guitar playing, and there are a lot of things you could be doing, there is only one single thing at any given point in time that is holding back your progress. There's one bottleneck. If you didn't spend all your time jumping around doing different things, and we just focused on that individual bottleneck, and we made progress with it, you would make progress with your guitar playing. We can think of it as a bottleneck that's holding us back, the one single kind of weak point there. But it's also equally, when we're playing music and when we're playing songs, it's our biggest point of leverage. Why not work on the biggest point of leverage? And that's exactly what we need to do. So when we're in this idea that all we need to do is practice, 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 we've really lost sense of where the bottleneck is. That's the problem. And if there's an expert involved, or an alleged expert, they're not diagnosing the bottleneck for you, and they're not coaching you through it. And that's exactly what we need to do to continue to make progress with your guitar playing. There is one constraint that if we opened it up, we removed that constraint, you would make progress. A good example of this, recently a student of mine, Grace Stevens, Grace had a love of the song Rainbow Connection, which is the song that Kermit sings in the Muppet movie. And I'd never heard this until Grace showed me the song. And she always wanted to pick up the guitar and play the song. It's a guitar-based song, and it's one, from her childhood. So Grace sent me an email. She was having a look at the song, looking at some resources and stuff that were out there online. And she sent me an email to say, I think I'm making progress. I think I'm understanding the song. I'm getting it. In terms of the timing of the song, because it's a finger-picked song, she thinks it's 1, 2, and 4, 1 and 2. And that happens a couple of times. So she's in the details here, looking at this specific aspect of the song, trying to line up or figure out where the plucking is actually happening, okay? Now, there's a lot of people can be in similar situations to this. If we carry on in that same path and that same groove, and we just carry on practicing the thing we've been practicing, we're not going to get a different result, If we didn't diagnose what the actual bottleneck to Grace playing that song and then coach her through the stages of it, maybe we would have never got to playing that song, or it would at least take a lot of time, a lot of trial and error, a lot of figuring it out. But Grace jumped on a lesson with me, and the first thing we actually needed to do is I just drew her attention to actually putting the guitar down, listening to the song, and feeling the timing of it. Clapping, tapping, clicking her fingers, whatever it is, just to move in time with the music and feel the pulse of the song. Okay, that's the first thing that we needed to do in this instance. Okay, not intellectualize the numbers and the ands and sort of cognitively get it, but to get it physically. That's what we needed in this instance. And through doing that, the next stage of this was I asked Grace to identify and call out or clap louder where the first beat of each bar was. And she heard the song. She could feel it. She did it straight away. We weren't trying to apply it to the guitar. We needed to plug a kind of rhythmic thing in and get comfortable with a certain rhythmic awareness. That was where the bottleneck was. And she did it really quickly. She was like, oh, and she did it herself. She realized at that point, I've been trying to map out the plucking of this song as if there's 4 beats in the bar. So I've got this 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to sandwich this stuff in to, or line this stuff up with like a grid of 4 beats. And I realized just by feeling my way through it, that this song has 3 beats in the bar. And it clicked. Now I know where these need to go. I know where the plucking is because it makes sense in 3s. I can hear the accents, I can hear the feel of it. She picked the guitar up and it wasn't perfect. She didn't play the song perfectly, like as if by magic. But the crucial bottleneck had been broken, kind of thing. We'd fixed it. And she started playing the song, not counting in 4s and having like a stilted 1 and kind of approach to it, which is very, very in the head. She just felt it and played it. And it was a kind of... 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just to feel that it's there. So once we got on out of this groove of like, I just need to practice this, I need to carry on with this way of doing it, into addressing the actual bottleneck, which was a feel and awareness of the beats in the bar, the whole thing just came together. So that's my example, a very recent one, of this phenomenon. Okay, we could be really in the weeds trying to piece together a lot of different things, really zoomed in on it. Maybe we need to come back and look at a bigger picture. Maybe we need to zoom in closer and address a particular issue. But there was one thing that was holding Grace's playing back at that point in time. And there always is. It's really common for people who have a chat with me about their guitar playing. The first conversation we have, for them to say something like, oh, and I can't play bar chords. By the way, I'm struggling with bar chords. It's my hands. I think my hands are too small, or I'm too old. They've got sausage fingers. I can't play the chords on the guitar. And I can't play bar chords. Like it's important to play bar chords right at that point in time. And we'll just have a chat about it. And, often it'll come to the surface that this person, I'll say, are you playing, if we put bar chords aside, and we look at, say, open chords, or we look at some other types of chords, are you playing any songs, that are recognizable, that you're happy with? And often the answer is, no, I'm not. Okay, so if we're not playing songs, any complete songs with any types of chords, and we're measuring our ability to play the guitar by our ability to play bar chords, we're way off the thing we need to be putting our energy into. We're way off addressing that bottleneck, okay? There is a path to learning the bar chords. There's a structured approach. We need to condition the hands. But we don't need to have bar chords in the first song we learn. If we try to play a song with bar chords in, and we can't play a song without bar chords in, that song is gonna fall apart. It's gonna be frustrating, okay? We need to find that bottleneck. When you're practicing, you're often in a groove of, here's what I need to do, and just keep doing it. But we can't expect a different result from doing the same thing. So sometimes we just need to steer that ship. So if you're ever in the situation where you're feeling, or God forbid somebody's telling you that the answer is practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. Just do more of it. Just do more of the guitar. What we actually need to do, okay, the first thing is we need to accurately diagnose the single problem that's holding your guitar playing back. So here's the areas in which to look for the bottleneck with your playing, okay? So the first thing would be, your fretting hand, okay? And it could be, are we fretting the chords cleanly on their own, or are we blocking some of the strings? Is it a stretch issue? Is it a fretting issue? Is it the changes between chords? Are we slow with them? Are we moving hands and fingers in individually? Are they smooth? Then the other area from the fretting hand, of course, the other hand, the strumming hand. Is it an issue with the strumming, learning a strumming pattern? Is it the up strums getting snagged? Is it how we're holding the pick? Is it, changing between different rhythms or getting the actual individual rhythm? And then from there, the third area would be actual coordination, to bring the two hands together. Is there something going on with the way we're bringing the two hands together? Okay? Or is it in trying to not look at your hands, or being at the stage where we need to stop, or we begin to stop looking at your hands? So we start to go beyond some of the stuff that happens in guitar lessons, in the guitar process. So is it about not looking? Is that what we need to do at that point in time? Is it about playing and singing at the same time? Is it about where the words are going in relation to the strumming? Is it about the timing and the space and how to fit those words in? Is it, having the coordination to play or do multiple things at the same time? Is it the singing itself? Is it about accuracy of pitch? Is it about the timing of the melody? Is it about the tone of the voice, or the dynamics, or, having the song in the right key that suits your voice? Is it about internalizing, memorizing, encoding the song, so you're not stuck behind a sheet because you're trying to communicate something to somebody and you're just looking at the sheet and it's kind of getting in the way and holding you back? Is it about the feel? Is it about the emotion? Is it about the expression of the song? Is that where we're kind of blocked and what we need to develop? Are you feeling and expressing what you want to? Or is it the confidence thing? Are you by yourself practicing and you're able to do exactly what you want? You got a version of the song together. It's pretty good. You can do it when you're by yourself. But when somebody is listening, or you try and play it to your spouse or a family member or a friend, do the wheels come off? Okay, there really are areas to scan through and see if you can outline the bottleneck. Fretting hand, strumming hand, coordination of both hands, not looking. Is it playing and singing at the same time? Is it the singing itself? Is it the memorizing of a song and getting away from that page? Is it about the expression and the emotion that you're trying to translate? Is it a bit flat? Or is it simply, well, not simply, there's a lot of depth here. Is it around confidence? They're the areas I'd scan through. That's the first stage, an accurate diagnosis of where that single problem holding you back is. Point number one. Stage number two, we need to take that single thing, okay, take it out of the song, take it out of the context of playing through the whole thing, and we need to create some steps to build up and get comfortable and practice just that thing that's tripping us up, just that thing that's throwing us off. So remember, you can only really learn one thing at a time. We don't want to be trying to do multiple new things and multiple learnings at the same time, because that's a slow way to do things. So we peel that thing off on its own, clear everything out of the way, and we focus just on that thing and the steps to get comfortable with that. Okay, that's the second point. The third one is, once you've cracked a bottleneck, or you've achieved the leverage available with that biggest point of leverage in your guitar playing, and you're just zoned in completely on that and got comfortable with that, focused on that, the third stage is to know and expect that there will be another bottleneck. There will be another biggest point of leverage in your guitar playing, but it is not going to be in the same place. It is not going to be the same thing. It is not going to be the answer to just keep doing the same thing and just keep practicing. It's going to have moved to a different area of your playing. And I mentioned, some of the kind of areas that you might find the bottleneck in, to search for the bottleneck in, or think through it in point one. So know that the bottleneck has moved. Don't go back to I just need to endlessly do the same thing until it makes sense. No, we need to do a different thing. We need to identify the bottleneck. We need to break it apart and chunk it into an individual thing. And we need to have the expectation that once we've cracked that bottleneck, we can't just continue on the same groove. It's going to have moved to a different place. So there we have it. If you're interested in having a chat about how I can help you with your guitar playing, and you're between 50 and 80 years old, and you want to get playing and even singing the songs that you love on the guitar, then, link below the video, we can get on a call and have a chat about it. There we go. I'll see you in the next video.